Oh, if you can catch me, you can't catch me.
In this
Can't catch you? Okay.
Foxy.
What are you, the Magic Dragon?
Catch
No,
you if you can.
So, Scooter.
Oh, baby.
We here?
We
We're here.
You in the right direction. Welcome.
Welcome to another episode of GPS Extended.
That's right.
Do we have a read today?
No,
yeah.
but I think there is
Oh,
something
yeah.
we need to talk about.
Final play, it looks like barring a penalty. Prescott over the middle of the turret, gets smoked right away, and that'll do it, the 49er. And on the last play, Cowboys needed a miracle. Didn't have it on this thing.
Whoa, the greatest play.
Wait, we
there
don't have a
was.
read? Isn't it in the description?
We got to read. We got
Oh, we got to read.
Yeah.
Listen, from now on, when I'm feeling down or I'm feeling depressed, I'm going to fire up that clip and just feel better. Like, just so much better. What was supposed to happen on that play? Scooter, have you determined what?
Ball's supposed to go far.
Yeah.
What was
I understand
design?
what they were trying to do.
What? You understand it?
Yeah, because I think of plays like that also. Just like trick plays, things like that. I've got a creative offensive mind like that. I think they were trying to set up a screen that would have then been thrown to the other side, but it just never materialized.
You see them, boys?
I mean, I do have one question for you, Scooter. Do you think that's the last play Zeke Elliott places a Cowboy?
Ooh,
Okay, so
loaded.
if we're just gonna jump straight into the Cowboys,
100% his last play
Yeah.
is center.
No, I mean, hey, dude,
Definitely
they've had a
his
hard
last
time
play
replacing
at
that.
center.
Tyler Biadasz has been injured. Trent Frederick has retired. But I'm going to say, Zeke Elliott, with the way he feasts, he can bulk up the offensive line pretty quickly.
here's the thing. Okay,
All right,
with this
let
loss,
Scooter cook.
Someone got a fitty.
there's going to be a
69?
lot of hard questions the Cowboys are going to have to answer. Okay, a lot of hard questions. Zeke, I'm on the forefront. What do we do with Zeke? Zeke's already intimated that he's willing to take a pay cut. So
That's so
we're
nice.
just gonna see. Let's see how things play out before we make any rash decisions. As far as the game goes, see what had happened was
Remember when he said that Brock Purdy would throw more interceptions than Dak? I remember.
and, well, here's the thing. Trayvon Diggs had an interception right in his hand. There were so many things we could have done to win that game that we
Dak
did not
throwing
do.
those
So
picks.
many plays that literally slipped through our hands. We have no one to blame but ourselves and management for trading Amari Cooper in the preseason. Because, bro, look at every team remaining. Look at the talent they have. When CeeDee Lamb is our only receiver who's producing in the whole game, there's a problem. There's a problem. So we're going to have to make a lot of hard decisions this offseason. But again, I think a lot of things are doable. Look at the teams remaining. Look at how they supported their quarterbacks. The Eagles went out and they go get A.J. Brown. They don't trade away their number one. They go get a number one.
You have
it's
to
just
remember, though, they panicked at the time of the cap. They did technically keep Michael Gallup. So do you get rid of Michael Gallup to keep Amari Cooper?
a lot of people would say yes. A lot of people
choking
would
on
say
his
yes
own
to that.
words.
Were you really
yeah.
saying that?
But a lot, if you had to go back and do it again, a lot of people would say keep Amari Cooper over Michael Gallup. There are some people that believe we got Michael Gallup at a discount. So it's just it's going to be very hard this offseason.
Speaking
I
of
think-
discounts,
If I could find a way.
Yo, there's only 4 teams that remain. We know which one's not there.
No.
I think none of our teams are there anymore.
Iconic.
Ain't nobody.
American folklore in terms of winning the West. but they're not in the games this weekend. Right now, though, our friends over at DraftKings, with our code ClickBait,
Clickbait.
they're going to give you $200 in bonus bets instantly. Instantly. If you bet $5, at least $5 on either NFL playoff game, you can do either one, the NFC or the AFC one. If you're wondering what you could be doing with that 200 in bonus bets, well, why don't you stack some bets with the same game parlays? Multiple bets in the same game, okay? Like, which team's going to win? By how much? Will they run a weird, dumb, stupid trick play to end the game? That is going to be completely ineffective and won't work in a million years, especially after the opposing team sees what you're doing and calls a timeout. And then
really
totally prepared for it. Okay, I got out of hand there. But if you use our code ClickBait when you sign up at DraftKings, link in the description after you download the app, you bet $5 on either of these games, at least $5, you're going to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Bye. Bye. Disclaimer.
Where's the disclaimer?
Where is it? What disclaimer?
It's on the
That's
screen.
Cam.
Yeah, try it.
Oh, we're small.
Oh,
Hell you talking
There we go.
Yeah.
I was wondering why it wouldn't go on.
now, don't we have a punishment to get?
No, no, but I think there are some words that a certain guy needs to eat.
You have to make it a JPEG.
Yeah, I'm gonna screenshot it real quick. And
Okay,
just-
let's
The
go to-
49ers, Danny Day, you have lost your mind. There's no way the Cowboys are losing to the 49ers. Someone clip it.
Yeah.
Okay. Please just keep the same energy because I don't want next week being some nonsense again. Oh, we're going up. We're going to. No! This is our year. It is the year of America's team.
Again, Packers are out, buddy. They're out.
He needs Jesus.
Who is
Be
we?
prepared.
Who
Be
is
prepared
we?
because I'm coming with the heat.
One of the
next
best villain
week.
songs.
Coming
in
with the
line.
heat.
Coming with the heat next week.
Brandon, what
but
are you?
I
gonna
thought the
say?
Heat were playing in
winning.
Memphis next week.
We're winning the game against the 49ers. And I'm going to be back next week. And I'm going to be saying the name of my team next week. All stream long. So just get prepared. Get prepared. Because it's happening next week.
Great. We gotta keep that same energy, boys. Make sure you keep that same energy.
Exactly. Hey, man,
right.
you got to
Look.
talk that crap. You got to eat it too, man.
Here's what I have to say. If y'all watched the game, you saw what I saw. The 49ers did not beat us. We beat ourselves with absolute nonsense. We get the ball, we get a turnover, we can't score a touchdown, we got to kick a field goal. That's to me when we lost the game, when we did not convert that touchdown
That's not
Right.
4 yards away.
Yeah, I beat myself when the Cowboys
Kavontae
lost.
Turpin.
That was
Turpin had 2 kickoffs he could have housed, could have taken to the house. He chooses the wrong angle, runs and gets tackled by the kicker, runs into someone else. It's just like it was a myriad of nonsense that always seems to happen in the divisional game for whatever reason.
Because the Cowboys are a regular season team. I'm saying that as someone who knows about my team, like they can't perform in the playoffs. Like
same
it's
as mine recently.
It's a thing.
The thing is, it's like one play goes a different way, I would be talking a lot of trash. So that's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
I love talking in hypotheticals.
That's the best part of sports.
My
is
team could
you
have beat
can
the
just-
Lions, but they didn't. So, but
we
if they
get
did,
to-
then
we get
wow.
to
Oh, yeah.
crap
Watch
on
out,
Spears
guys.
Cowboys because they couldn't make one play. I actually played a much better game than I thought they would, but nobody's gonna
Oh,
remember
boy.
that.
We
Nobody's
gotta
gonna
Here's my
remember.
question.
Oh wow! Scooter.
Relax.
Is getting
Everyone
on
out
there.
here relax.
Yes.
But here's what I want to know from you four guys, because I know how I feel about everyone on the Cowboys. I know what needs to happen. From an outside perspective, from a non-Cowboys fan, maybe even from a Cowboys hater perspective, what are your opinions on Dak Prescott? Because I know where I stand. Where do you guys stand on Dak after that performance?
Tom.
I could start. Yeah, no. I think he is a good quarterback. I think that his performance against the Buccaneers was probably one of his best that he's ever had. 4 touchdowns, didn't turn the ball over. I also think at the same time, I don't know if he's the guy that puts you over the top, because now him and Tony Romo are 0-3 in the divisional round. And I think that the issue is not necessarily with Dak, because I think you can win. The problem is I think you need almost like a perfect scenario around him in order to put you over the top. You need an incredible offensive line. You need 2 running backs, because the one you paid $90 million to can't do anything when your RB supposed to be 2, but as your RB1 Pollard goes down. I think your defense basically did more than enough to win that football game. And so it comes down to your offense. And I think while CeeDee Lamb is the majority of your offense, and letting Amari Cooper go for a 5th was definitely a big problem. I think with the amount of money that you're paying Dak, he's going to be expected to live up to those moments, and he's just not. So I don't think they're going to move off of him, but I don't even know what you begin to address to be like, yeah, we're going to run it back next year and we'll be in a better position, because I think your division's going to get better. The Giants are going to get better. And I mean, this was their rebuild year and they wound up making it into the playoffs. Commanders, they'll do whatever they're doing. And the Eagles are a powerhouse team that are in the NFC Championship right now. So I don't know if Dak is going bring you a Super Bowl in Arlington.
I'll go next because I'm the resident Cowboys hater. The thing is, like, when you name the top quarterbacks in the league, right? Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, even Lamar Jackson, maybe a little Aaron Rodgers, right? Who else is in the Joe Burrow? Okay. Where does Dak come up in that conversation? Late.
Dak,
There's the top 5, and then there's Dak somewhere below that
so
top 5.
interesting.
And you
Can
cannot
I just
say that
address
that's
that real
inaccurate.
quick? Can I just address that before you continue?
Okay.
That is so interesting that you bring Josh Allen into this equation. And that's what a lot of people do. Josh Allen, top QB. Okay, well then if Josh Allen is a top QB, stats-wise, Dak's better than him. Dak is better than
Stats-wise,
Josh Allen.
Kirk Cousins
stats-wise.
stat-wise is better
So
than
what
both
are
of
we
them,
talking
right?
about if we're saying Josh Allen is a top QB and Dak has better stats than them, better win record than Josh Allen in the last 13 games?
Wins
of
are
the
not a
season?
QB stat. Wins are not.
Yeah, wins are not.
Not
a
even
QB
close,
stat.
buddy.
No.
Not even close. They
Well,
can't go
Josh
win.
Allen, the bloom is coming off the rose with Josh Allen a little bit.
That's all I have to say.
especially
If we're
after
saying
this
Josh
weekend.
Allen is a top QB,
All right, but think
how
about
is Dak not if his numbers are better? But please continue.
Who are the top 2? Clearly, it's Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. Like that's there's no debating that those are the top 2 QBs in the league. Then there's that group of elite, and then there's Dak. Okay, let's be honest about that. Dak played really bad down the stretch, and he had that one game against Tampa. They made him look good, and then he went back to being like that against San Francisco, an elite defense. Now, I mean, most quarterbacks are going to struggle against San Francisco, and we'll see what happens when Jalen Hurts goes out there. My thing is like, Dak, is he in the top echelon of quarterbacks? No, and you need a guy that's there in the top 3 to get you to the next level.
Or see, but
Unless
I disagree with that,
Unless
because
Brock Purdy goes out and
because that's what I'm saying. You could have a Brock Purdy, but the team, like Shanahan has designed that team so Brock Purdy, Jimmy Garoppolo can thrive in it. The Cowboys aren't. The Cowboys threw so much money at offense and are expecting them to be an offensive-minded team. You got Micah Parsons, who is a stud, and that's kind of been a little bit of the identity. But I feel like Jerry Jones has always wanted like an offensive team. It's like a high-flying offense, and now that you don't have the pieces for that, you're still trying to run that offense. And like that's why you were so hesitant to run with Pollard all year. Like that's why you didn't like become like a ground game team. But it doesn't make sense to me. But I feel like that's the way the
Here's
Cowboys
the
are going.
stats I was referring to. I was trying to find it. In their last 13 games, okay, So forget wins and losses because you said wins are not a QB record
not.
or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
QBR, Dak 98.3 versus Josh Allen 84.5. 28 to 21 touchdowns, 3,264 yards to 2,920 yards, 16 interceptions to 13 interceptions. So it's like Josh Allen is a top QB. Well, what's Dak then? Because he's better than Josh Allen in QBR in the whole. So it's just like, it's interesting to see people's perspectives.
When's the last time Dak has carried a team to victory? Josh Allen is
When's the
that
last time
Buffalo
Josh
offense.
Allen has carried his team to victory? Same question.
Week 17 against New England.
In the playoffs when it mattered. Same question. It's the same debate. So it's
I
like
like how you
people
moved the
have
goalpost.
I mean,
all this
once again,
energy
he
for
would have
Dak.
won against Kansas City last year if it weren't for Leslie Frazier and his 13 second
seconds.
defense.
You have all this energy for Dak.
But
Where is that
Dak-
same energy for Josh
Dak
Allen
tied the lead
when
for
they've won the
interceptions
same
with
amount,
4
and
less
the only
games.
difference really is Dak's on America's team and Josh Allen's on the Bills.
No,
Brandon
actually,
has
what
been
it is
wanting to say something. Sorry.
Yeah, Perna.
Here's the real difference between Dak and Josh Allen. And because I like Dak, I think he gets too much shit. And Josh Allen, he just has a better arm. He's got just an insane arm. It wows people. So Josh Allen has the wow factor. But the real difference is Josh Allen's legs.
Yes.
Josh Allen versus Dak Prescott on the ground. 762 rushing yards this year, 763 rushing yards last year, 7 TDs, 6 TDs, 8 TDs, 9 TDs, 8 TDs. That's every single year he's been in the league versus Dak. 182 rushing yards, 1 touchdown, 146 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. It's Josh Allen having that as part of his game makes him the guy that everything goes through him. And Buffalo does not have a good running game around Josh Allen. They never have. They don't commit to it. Even when Brian Dable was there, even though they were more effective with Brian Dable, he beats you both ways. And I think you can win with Dak. I don't think it's all on him. I think they just need another dynamic playmaker on offense next to CeeDee Lamb. Possibly this is Kellen Moore's crap or get off the pot year as an offensive coordinator. And I don't think he's a bad offensive coordinator, but I don't think the Cowboys really scare many people outside of the Vikings.
Giants beat the Vikings.
Maybe the Bucks, but once again, Dak was really good in that game because Tampa Bay had been terrible all year. Their offense was atrocious. They shouldn't have even been there. I mean, Tampa Bay's defense was pretty good, but at the same time, they laid an egg. Dak did well. And the comparison Tom had as well, he is the Tony Romo of the modern age. Like, he's pretty much him to a T. Really good quarterback, but he's not great.
So like Josh Allen, for example, right? So he's been dealing with his injuries, since the Jets game, with that elbow. And I'm not even pinning it on that. But what I'm saying is what I've been saying about the Bills is this season in particular, they have lived and died by Josh Allen, right? Because you bring up the Dolphins game where he throws some picks, but then he throws 40-yard bombs to Stephon Diggs and he winds up getting them back into that game. So I feel like with Dak, when the gate, when it's all on him, it's a problem. And I don't even blame Dak for that. I blame the system for that or the offensive philosophy for that. But I don't think that you could sit here and be yeah, Dak's a top 10 QB. Could he be at times? Absolutely. If he shows up like he did against the Buccaneers, 100%. But he's not consistent enough to be the guy that you pin it all on. If Tony Pollard doesn't go down, maybe that game goes differently. Yeah. But again, if you're paying Ezekiel Elliott that much money, if you're paying Dak that much money, those two guys have to carry that offense, and they just don't, especially Zeke. And I think that just leads to a systemic issue with the Cowboys.
And you have to consider too, where's their cap space right now? Because Tony Pollard's going to be a free agent, and I think he's gone. Because do you think Zeke is going to be able to take a pay cut? Do you think Michael Gallup's going to take a pay cut?
Zeke
no, you've got to pay CeeDee Lamb soon.
Zeke
Dalton
already
Schultz
has
is gone.
That, he will take a pay cut. I honestly think we franchise Pollard, to be honest. I don't think we franchise Schultz this year. A lot of people are saying, let Schultz walk. Let's see what these young guys have. And I honestly think that's something that is going to be up for discussion. Where does the franchise tag come into play here?
And
I think Pollard might be franchise, to be honest.
And there's
Oh, here
another
we
question
go.
you need to ask Tyron Smith. He's been injury prone. He's really good, but he can't stay healthy. What do you do with him?
So right
He's getting a little
here,
too serious for my liking. What do we have here, Scooter?
let me
What
check
do
this
you-
out.
for everyone, Scooter?
All right. So I don't know how long ago this bet was. I think it was a
It was
long
the
time ago.
summertime.
It was like
Yeah.
in
I
the
had
summer
time.
of
Well,
last
the
year.
Cowboys
Yeah.
have been eliminated. I got some time
Like
now
2022.
to come up on my bets to satisfy all my requirements. And I think for this one, the requirement was for me to dress up as an Eagle and get 2 people to say the Eagles are winning the Super Bowl.
It was fly,
So
but it's close. It's
the
close.
problem also with this is that I could not find the cap to blow this thing up. So we were sitting in the gosh darn parking lot for at least 32 minutes trying to figure out how to blow this thing up, as well as random people just looking at me. I could never get my head through. Let's just play it. Just
Great song.
ain't no way. How do people get there? We gotta inflate it. I had to go buy scissors to make the hole bigger for my head. This is me asking this dude where are the scissors at.
That's my favorite look.
So I lost the bet. Here we are.
Great camouflage.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
The Eagles are winning the Super Bowl.
She couldn't even commit.
The girl's like,
You know the best part is it is Walmart, so like no one saw it was
Yes.
like out of the
right.
ordinary.
No,
Like,
yeah. They were just like,
That's
oh,
right.
this is
I had
Tuesday.
to.
That's the thing. It's pretty standard. You're not
Guy
even
in an
getting on
Eagles
people at
outfit.
Walmart.
Those
Yeah.
girls
You mean my home
did
stadium?
mention
That was
to
at my home
me.
stadium, guys? Cool.
Those girls did mention to me that they saw me in the parking lot and were wondering what the heck I was doing. So it was perfect. I'm just glad I don't have to do that anymore.
That was a
This
just
guy's putting on a weird
punishment.
costume
For
heading
now.
into a public shopping center. Should
Did
we alert
you
the
try
authorities?
reading the instructions? Was that
No.
an option? Yeah. Uh-huh.
No,
You did not
absolutely
have a
not.
pump or anything. You didn't have the pump to pump it up?
There's like some part that disconnects, and we didn't have that part that
Oh.
was supposed to make it so that I don't know. I don't know.
Remember, Tom had to mess with his pump last week or the
Yeah,
week
you
before
messed with his pump for sure.
Mhm,
for the sumo costume.
correct.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
All right. Well, what else happened this weekend besides
Giants
the
lost.
Cowboys?
Well, yeah, it wasn't only just the Cowboys that lost now. Like,
Well,
let's
you know
talk
what?
about the Giants. Okay, because y'all lost. We just lost. Y'all got bodied. What were you feeling watching this? Were you regretting saying that Daniel Jones is your guy? Does this affect any of that? Talk to me, Five.
No, I don't think that really changes the fact that he's the guy. He just cost himself like a lot of money, like, and that's a more powerful bargaining chip for the Giants to just be like, hey, you did win a playoff game, but what happened against the Eagles? How about we sit down and we give you like $20 million a year or
He's still
something?
their guy.
Don't go out and get ridiculous or anything. I think the real thing that is in my mind is, the market for Daniel Jones, the open market, isn't that great for him. Yes, other teams would take him, but obviously the Giants want him. The real problem is Barkley, right? What's to stop a team like the Cowboys or like the Bills, that would need a top flight running back and are willing to give him 3-year money, Barkley 3 or 4 year money to put them over the edge. Like the market for Barkley services is going to be way broader than what we need for Daniel Jones. And the other thing is, if they franchise tag Barkley, he's not going to accept that. He might pull a Le'Veon Bell. Like, it's Barkley's responsibility for him and his agent to get him a multi-year deal. So it could be some situation where we have to pony up the money for Barkley and then franchise Jones, because that might be just more convenient.
You just draft a running back. This is
yeah,
a good running back draft
just
class.
or just let Barkley walk.
Honestly,
or you can even like put in like you have a fascinating offseason coming up, 5. You can take this in a lot of different ways regarding Jones or Saquon, or Jones or Saquon, or both. Or I mean, you can even get rid of both if you really think of it. It depends what they feel and how their cap situation is moving forward.
They were trying to get a deal done during the season, and it stalled out. And so they're like, we'll wait till the off season, which just helped Saquon Barkley because he was a stud this year. He went back to form.
Yeah, and that's going to be tough because maybe he priced himself out of coming back to New York, which is entirely possible.
Yeah.
But you should never be upset about losing a running back. No, when you lose a running back, like, they don't go on to have another 10 years of dominance. It just doesn't happen that way.
AP.
Yeah, look at McCaffrey. He's not even with his team that gave him that second deal because they had to dump him off because he was hurt 2 years in a row after they gave him the money. So it's just, there's such a liability that I will be upset, like when Odell Beckham was traded, obviously, but losing Barkley is not going to be as hard as, say, losing your guy that you've invested 4 years in now. So yeah, Daniel Jones is coming back. They'll work something out, but I'd like them both back. But yeah, we got bodied too, by the way. That game was tough to watch.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
yeah, I'm talking smack. Like, the only thing that saved the weekend was Cowboy fan tears, because if y'all would have advanced and us lose, like, I would have been in an all NFC East while we're out on the outside looking in.
Who would you
been
rather win,
Commanders.
San Francisco or the Eagles? 5.
Oh, I cannot stand to see all the Eagles fan hate that I got. Just made it more intense and more bitter. Like, you never want your rivals. Like my dad used to say, son, you got to root for the team that beat you because you want to say that you got beat by the best. Well, F that mess.
no.
Forget
I want to see
that.
him fail.
You will not celebrate, and I will not enjoy your success if you beat me. Hell no. I will not say I got lost by the. I will say we got beat by a sus team. We beat ourselves. They didn't beat us. Yeah, but that was depressing and sad all at once. But kind of knew it was coming. Eagles are really good. You got to watch out for them. They're really good.
It wasn't just the Cowboys and Giants who were losing playoff games this weekend, or this past weekend, rather. The Bills actually lost as well.
Oh,
Brutal.
Laid a massive egg.
Did you guys perchance catch that game? And what are you guys' thoughts on that?
My question is, where do the Bills go from here? Because at the end of the day, that was your shot. That was probably your best shot.
Bills
And
are.
Sorry, it's all right. I mean, you needed Von Miller. You brought him in, and at the end of the day, I don't know if a Von Miller would have even won you this game with the holes in your secondary and defensive scheme, with the over-reliance on Josh Allen on the offense, with the way you're very one-dimensional. You still have a lot of holes in your structure and scheming, even coaching perhaps. My question is, you are nowhere closer to winning a Super Bowl, and this was supposed to be your revenge year, for the whole the coin toss narrative, the big plays, the offensive weapons. Like you had that one big piece that was supposed to push you over the top. And now you have Miami sniffing behind you. You got Jacksonville coming in. Kansas City's still going to be good. You have a bunch of suitors that are going to come in and just start taking over the top of the AFC East. And with Josh Allen's health, you never know what's going to happen, especially with his physical play style. I don't know where you go from here. I really don't.
Yeah, Bills are, I mean, it's just such a drastic difference in off seasons because, and I was talking about this with Perna on GPS, like, I feel like collectively as a nation, we gave the Bills a pass for their loss against the Chiefs because we're like, oh, it's the overtime rules, you know, it's the coin and blah, blah, blah. Not to mention, like, their defense wasn't good. It allowed them to get in field goal range with 13 seconds left. It allowed Mahomes to march down the field in overtime.
Exactly.
So,
that's what I always blamed it on.
Yeah, so like it's that, and then they go out and they get Von Miller. They're Super Bowl favorites. They go and address the secondary in the draft. Like they get the pieces that they need, but then again, it's a matter of injuries. It's a matter of just like play style. It's a matter of like they got James Cook. They're going to commit to the run. They never committed to the run because as an organization, that's just not who they. It's similar to the Cowboys in that sense of like they have a QB who can sling it, Poppy, and they also have like. You know, these wide receivers, Diggs got a 4-year extension before the year started. So it's a matter of like, they don't run the ball. They're one-dimensional. And if you get after Josh Allen enough, like eventually they're going to make mistakes. So like that optimism is not there. And on top of that, like look at the Jets. They get Nathaniel Hackett. Let's just say because it's a big if they get a guy like Aaron Rodgers, like that team is going to be like plug and play and they're going to be better. You know, and they'll be better just because Breece Hall is going to be there. Who knows what's going on with the Dolphins? But yeah, the East is going to get more competitive, so it's going to be difficult.
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, are we going to address? Is he really gone?
No.
Why is all these trade rumors just popping up everywhere? Like
same thing happened last year.
But it seems to have more legs this year for some reason.
Why?
Because he played so badly. That's why.
So
like it might be the right move to like move on from him.
So that now literally he said that verbatim on Tuesday on McAfee. He's just like, the Packers have not given me any indication that they want to move on from me. It's literally up to me if I want to come back and play football. That's the first thing that needs to be decided. And he goes, because I didn't win MVP this year, now these conversations are happening. So like, could it happen? 1,000,000%. But it's a foregone conclusion? No, I think it's also filling the void while we wait, and nobody wants to wait.
Quick scenario, Tom. 2 first and 2 second round picks for Aaron Rodgers. Do you take the deal?
Yeah, I don't think we're offered that though.
No, but I'm just saying as hypothetically.
Oh yeah,
hypothetically.
Yeah.
What about 1 second?
No. But so like I literally go through this entire scenario. Like I have a video coming out after this. Like I go through the scenario. I think like what we could get, because we should have, if we were gonna trade him, we should have done it last year because that was at the height of his value, 2-time MVP. I think the Packers organization were not in a place to say, oh God, the backlash we're gonna get if we just trade the 2-time like back-to-back MVP is gonna be a problem. So like now we're stuck. And now the Packers, like, they got to make decisions. They got to figure out Jordan Love because they have to say, hey, are we claiming his 5th-year option or no? And again, like Aaron Rodgers, even if we trade him, is going to be $40 million on the cap. So like we're eating that because that's all backloaded contract stuff. So you have to find somebody who wants Aaron Rodgers, which I think is a good amount of people in the league. But on top of that, they need to be willing to take the contract. We're still going to pay the 40 mil, but he's going to be owed like $60 million. And on top of that, like the draft capital to give it up in a free agency where Jimmy Garoppolo will be a free agent, who I think could fit really well with the Jets. And then you have Tom Brady, who's still there, who also will be a free agent. Don't have to give up any capital for him. Derek Carr, I know, much different talent-wise, but I'm just saying, like, you have to figure out if you want
Derek
to.
Carr's catching strays out here.
Listen, I'm not saying
Derek Carr is a poor man's Dak Prescott.
Yes, but like
that's
honestly,
insulting to Derek.
I don't think. Jimmy Garoppolo just makes sense because the scheme fit with Saleh. Like, that's why I think, like, that makes a really good fit. But if they want to go over the top, like, they could bring in Rodgers because, listen, the Jets and 49ers should be like a Brady and Rodgers dream. You have good defenses and you have young weapons. Like, that's what you want. The only thing I would say about the Jets is, like, they need to fix their O-line a bit. They did have some injuries, so, like, that didn't help. But I feel like that's the big thing they need. Like, the Jets have the 13th overall pick. I could see them saying, yeah, we'll give you the 13th. We'll give you like a second rounder, which I think is like the 43rd.
I mean, the Jets won how many games with a garbage roster? Like, just a couple things go right. They get Mekhi Becton healthy for a whole year. Like, they could
That'll never happen.
do some I know. That's
Speaking
true.
of QBs, I'm interested to understand what you guys think the 49ers are going to do in the offseason, especially if Brock Purdy does actually perform well, maybe even makes it to a Super Bowl as a rookie. Where do they go from here?
Here's the thing, though.
Battle out.
20-year contract for Brock Purdy. Anything else is a slap in the face.
Here's the thing, though. They got to a Super Bowl 2 years ago with Garoppolo, and they're casting him off like a second skin. Like they're getting rid of him so fast. If they win a Super Bowl with Purdy, like maybe they lock him up, but he's got.
I'm talking about Trey Lance. I'm talking about what happens to Trey Lance.
But that's the thing. They don't have to make any decision in the offseason. They are in the greatest position ever. That's why I never understood the Tom Brady rumors to San Francisco. They have 2 guys on their rookie deals. Have them battle it out in camp. You start Brock Purdy and be like, yeah, sure, he does well. Until he doesn't, then you put on Trey Lance. Like, who cares? Like, they are in the best.
That's who cares. Trey Lance is who cares.
Then win the job. That's it. Then you win the job. Win the job in camp.
Here's my question, Tom. You say win the job.
Don't get hurt.
Here's my question. How does management say this guy won 12, 13 Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl for us? How does management say, we know Brock Purdy just did all of this, but because we drafted this guy a little bit further ahead, he actually won the battle in camp, so he's starting, despite Brock Purdy winning all of this.
Then you have Nick Foles as your backup. Like Nick Foles won a Super Bowl, then he went to Jacksonville and he sucked.
They made the wrong move.
And he moved around. Like that's what I'm saying. Then you have a Super Bowl winning backup, and God forbid Trey Lance with his play style, the whole 9 yards, gets hurt. Then you have Brock Purdy in there. Like, I do not understand, like, why this is such a big problem. The 49ers are in such an enviable, like, position. Any team would be like, oh, man, we have too many good quarterbacks on the roster, and we don't pay them a lot. What do we do? Have them battle it out in camp, see who moves forward, and do what's best for the franchise. That's it.
Keep Jimmy G and sell male shirtless calendars as well. Extra profit margin coming in. Brock Purdy is the next Tom Brady.
It's possible.
People want to throw that term around a lot. But this is the only guy drafted further down the board than Tom. Second, he's playing better than Tom Brady ever did in his first go around in the playoffs. Way better. Go look at old Tom Brady in the first round of the playoffs. He was dog shit, and they still won a Super Bowl. Okay, it was horrible.
No, let's see. Brock Purdy did
miles ahead of him. He doesn't have the physical skills like Tom Brady, which is going to benefit him in the long run. Kyle Shanahan knows that. It's the match. It's the perfect pair, like Brady and Belichick was. This guy, they give him a long-term deal. You don't even think about starting Trey Lance. You trade him for more draft picks. You keep Jimmy G on as your backup to Brock Purdy because he'll run the exact same style of offense that Brock Purdy's running. And then you use those other draft picks for more offensive weapons. You have so many offensive weapons that you can't even use them all. And maybe
you trade those for more draft picks.
Remember, Drew Bledsoe had to bail Tom Brady out that first playoff.
Yep, Steeler game. I remember that.
Yep. Who's Brock Purdy's backup, by the way? Right,
Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson, the
boy,
legendary veteran journeyman of the.
If Purdy gets hurty, they are.
Yeah, because I tried to make a joke that the Niners should just keep injuring their quarterbacks because the backup's like always better.
How did that joke go?
Veteran of the United Football League, the
but then I was like, oh, it's Josh
XFL.
I think they've reached. They've hit
Speaking of great quarterbacks, there is one team that we have yet to get to who has advanced for the 5th year in a row to the conference championship. Pat Mahomes leading the Kansas City Chiefs. What are we thinking for the Chiefs' chances here going into this conference championship game here? Did you guys get a chance to watch this playoff game with Mahomes?
No. How's Mahomes' health looking like? Is he doing well in practice?
Dude is freaking like skipping around in practice. He literally, legitimately, he's like skipping around. He's like doing all the stretches. I'm like, you gotta be.
Honestly, they put in enough Toradol in that guy to knock out. I bet you any money.
It's insane.
I was impressed with the Jags even hanging around that game. Like, obviously,
they were a fumble away from giving the Chiefs a run at the end. It was like a freak fumble that just pops out of Jamal Agnew's hands. And if you listen to the
On
broadcast,
the punt,
like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that Chiefs force a fumble. I was like, nobody forced a fumble.
Yeah, it was at the goal
Stupid
line.
football is slippery.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those ones that you're gonna like regret, but at the end of the day, the Jags weren't ready. I mean, it's a heck of a season for them. You have your quarterback, you have your structure. Doug Peterson's the right coach at the right time. I don't know if he's going to be like the long-term answer, but right now, I think you're in a very enviable situation.
Yeah,
And
the
I think
Jags
you
are
can
on
run the
on
AFC
come.
South for a long time.
Yeah, because there's no one in there.
Yeah. The Titans are obviously headed
Like
down
it's
this way.
Peyton Manning's Colts. That's
Mhm.
how it might be.
Yeah,
If
Colts
you-
are
if you
in
play this right.
disarray. Mhm.
Yeah, they might be
No.
hiring Jeff Saturday. Hey, Chip, you should do it. Do it for the laughs.
Oh my God. The fact that they're actually entertaining. Again, I said the first question should be, did you ever blow a 33-point lead and a half? Yes, bye. That's it. That's the only question that you asked. If everyone else who said no, you're good. I don't get that. But speaking of, Frank Reich also hired as the Panthers head coach.
Carolina.
So someone's
Yeah.
gonna get Steve Wilkes, and like I'm biased, but like I really like Steve Wilkes. I think he did a really nice job with them too.
Yeah.
I think
You know
he'll
who
at
they're
least
not
get a
gonna
coordinator position.
You know who they're not going to get? Dan Quinn. That is who they're not going to get because Dan Quinn has come out. And I think I've said this in a previous stream. I'm not sure, but I think I said Dan Quinn staying because Jerry Jones is going to pay this man like a head coach, and he just has to be a defensive coordinator. And today it was announced Dan Quinn is staying. And I think that is what most Cowboys fans were fearful of the most.
Do you
Not
just
Kellen
love?
Moore leaving. We're okay if Kellen Moore leaves. Not certain players leaving. We're okay if certain players leave. But Dan Quinn was what we were worried about the most. He's staying. He's solidified. That defense is going to have the same guy running it. This is an elite defense. Let's add some pieces in the offseason. It is elite, Tom. We're going to get another lockdown corner.
Buddy,
And
it can be, but they're not consistent. You can't look at your season and tell me they were consistent on defense. There's no way.
there
dude.
was a stretch.
Dude,
where
Gardner Minshew almost destroyed you guys. Like
there was a
there's-
stretch where it decreased. But
It's
I would
just-
say if you average all the games, look at all the games collectively, put it over 17 and divide, you will get a great defense that played this season. I'm hyped.
What happened when Trayvon Diggs, he had like a easy interception on Purdy? What happened when that happened?
It went literally right through his hands.
Yeah.
you see
And
this
that
I
was
thought he
literally
was the
two
guy
plays-
that gets burned in
two
coverage
plays
but
later,
makes the interception.
Christian McCaffrey walks in. If Diggs intercepts that,
Mhm.
I'm talking way
I was
differently to
actually
everyone here
shocked
in
by
this stream.
that. I was
Did you see
actually
him talking about it on the sideline?
No,
what
I did
happened?
not.
Oh, it's hilarious. Diggs is like, because I don't know what teammate was asking him. He's like, what happened there? Diggs was like, the ball wasn't supposed to be there. It just hit me in the gut. I didn't even know it was coming.
Wow.
He's like, it was just it was basically saying it's such a bad throw. It wasn't like supposed to hit me.
But you
I
know
mean,
what
it
they
was on
did
him in a
see
hurry.
coming? Do you know what they did see coming?
DraftKings
Got
Sportsbook.
him.
Got him.
Oh, that's what we
Mhm.
call a segue. There are 4 teams left, okay? But only
4.
one can play in the big game. Teams have gone through ups and downs since September. Now they're on the cusp of glory. That's not enough to get your blood pumping. DraftKings, today's sponsor, is giving all new customers a winning offer. All new customers have to do is sign up for DraftKings using our code CLICKBAIT, CLICKBAIT, and bet $5 on either playoff game, and you're instantly going to get $200 in bonus bets. Now you can use those bonus bets to try some same game parlays where you combine multiple bets from one game, like which team will win and by how much, for a shot at even bigger winnings.
Yes.
And if you ain't got the mobile sports betting in your state, don't worry. You can get in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy. Again, you use our code CLICKBAIT, link in the description when you sign up. $5 on either game, at least $5. Could do $6. $7. Could do $9. And you can get $200 in free bonus bets instantly with our code CLICKBAIT.
I feel like we haven't talked enough about the Cowboys. Is
Hope
Mike
people
McCarthy on the
understood
hot
that
seat?
coming
I
from the
feel
least
like-
knowledgeable football talker here.
I feel
Hope
like we
everybody
haven't talked
understood
enough about this.
Final play, it looks like barring a penalty. Prescott over the middle of the turret, gets smoked right away, and that'll do it, the 49er. And on the last play, Cowboys needed a miracle. Didn't have it on this thing.
Honestly,
Why are
with
you
the-
going to get tackled, bro? Throw
No.
the ball up in the air if you know you're going to get tackled. Just throw the
It's-
ball up.
But he's
it's
better than
because
Josh
you
Allen.
had 2 blitzers with 1 blocking lineman.
I'm talking about
That's why
Turpin.
he had to throw it high.
I'm talking about
And
Turpin.
you also
No, you talk about Turpin. Like, why didn't he just
Yeah.
fumble it? Like, why didn't he just
Ball, bro.
chuck
Fumble
it?
the ball.
Yeah, do
because
something.
he had still had to adjust. He didn't feel the pressure.
Fumble the
coming from linemen.
ball. We could have.
You got to
Why
admit
would they
though
line
that
up
they,
for that play after the Niners called the timeout and realized?
yeah,
what they were
they
doing?
still went with it. Like, why
I
didn't you just
wanna
go to
know
a
two
standard
trick
Hail
plays.
Mary?
If I ever meet Kellen Moore, I promise you, I'm gonna ask him, "Yo, what was supposed to happen on this play? What?
I thought you
How
said
was
you
it
knew.
supposed to?" Because I honestly think it was supposed to be a screen on that side that was then thrown back to. Remember when the Tennessee Titans had that throwback?
Yeah, the
And then they
miracle.
did
Oh,
it.
Frank
Yeah.
Wycheck.
Yes,
yeah,
I honestly believe
was a
that's what
kickoff.
that play was setting up. Just
I don't
It
think
was setting
even
it up.
if you executed the first half of the play, like you still weren't getting
Yeah,
in
it
the end
was-
zone.
it-
You're gonna
I
have to
don't know.
lateral
My God,
your
Turpin
way.
took a shot too.
Yeah,
Jeez.
and so did Ezekiel. Ezekiel got
Oh my
pancaked
God.
like his name was Aunt Sarah. He just
Honestly,
got
I
run
think
over.
any of us would done just as good as Zeke.
I
on
would
that
have
play. We
rather
would have all been
seen-
pancaked.
I would have rather seen a hidden ball trick or something like
Statue of
something.
Liberty.
Statue
What
of Liberty
the
play.
heck?
Yeah.
Why is it every season our season ends in a stupid play, like the dumbest play of all every season? What the heck is going on, bro?
It's a great question. Why don't you try to answer that, Scooter? Maybe
Yeah.
because it's your organization.
No,
Mhm.
it is because of
Or-
our offensive coordinator.
Well, they want Mike McCarthy. Jerry Jones said he wants Mike McCarthy around as long as Tom Landry
Yeah.
was around.
Yeah.
Who said
You
that?
Did you not see that? Oh no, that literally came out today. It said Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy said that Jerry Jones has told him he wants McCarthy to coach here in Dallas as long
Oh,
as Tom
he's lying.
Landry did.
He's lying.
He
Jerry
should have to
didn't say that.
dress like Tom Landry. Then.
Jerry did not
Oh.
say
Yeah,
that.
No, Jerry Jones definitely says that he loves his stars.
It's
and
literally
he
one
loves
of the
his-
Cowboys reporters for the Dallas Morning News.
I want head coaches to be back in suits.
Okay, well, you know,
you have to have.
Jerry
They
Jones
have
has
to
said
be
a lot of
designed by
things
Nike.
that don't end up happening.
Brandon Perna's impersonation of Jerry Jones gives me life. So
Jerry Jones.
Okay, you
I
guys
won't
want
be some glory hole.
to preview these playoff games real quick?
Yes, let's preview.
I have one more question to ask. Brett Maher. The wonderful Brett Maher. When your own state governor is coming out saying he could kick better than Brett Maher, and he is apparently
So the funny thing
That
was, is
poor
like a lot of
dude.
people were like trying to give him a pass because that kick got blocked, but he kicked
But it was going the
into
wrong way.
Yeah. That was
I
going
didn't see
wide left.
It's just like, bruh,
Jerry Jones said he was
Something-
vindicated.
something foolish always happens with this team. Like, not even like a little bit foolish. It's like, so this man set a record, NFL record, no kicker ever. You understand what I'm saying? No kicker
Ever.
since the sport of football has begun. No kicker has missed 4 extra points in a game. That's Brett Maher. He's the only one because
Making
everyone
history.
else
I
got
thought
benched
Cody Torkey did.
after 2 or 3. Look, I don't even know.
The
I don't
other
know what to
thing-
tell you. I wish
the
I
other
had the
thing-
answers. I don't have the answers. I don't have them.
His yips ultimately affected the outcome of the game a little
They
bit
did.
when the Cowboys got into Niners territory, precious yards, and you had to go for it because of Maher's ineptness. Now, the final score was what? 6.7 point difference. Those 3 points would have mattered, but instead of going for a drive to tie the game, they had to get a touchdown to tie it. And those little things, those tiny, it's like you ever do like accident chain research or whatever, where it's those tiny things that add up. And it goes back to what Tom said, organizational problems.
Like Jerry Jones is like, he made a
themselves.
long field goal, so he's vindicated. That's great if you could hit a 50-yard field goal, but if you can't hit an extra point, that's kind of an issue. Like, but here, all right, I really don't want to talk about the Cowboys anymore, but Scooter, you mentioned like we're gonna pay Dan Quinn as a head coach, but keep him as DC. You're paying a running back as a RB1 who's not your RB1. You have an RB2 who you're gonna need to pay RB1 money for him to stay. How many positions are we just going to pay two people to do one job? It like, that's what I mean. Organizationally, it doesn't seem like it's.
Yeah. Like I said, there are a lot of things I would have done different. If I were GM, Amari Cooper would still be on the team. And I honestly think if Amari Cooper was on the team, a lot of things would have gone differently in that game or over the course of the season. Because what a lot of people don't understand is, when you just have one threat, when you just have CD, defenses can key in on one person. They can say, you know what, we're gonna stop CD. We're gonna blanket him so that he is a non-factor. That didn't happen this game, but he was able to get his yards. But I'm saying, when you have an Amari Cooper and a CD, that frees up so much for the QB. And you can see this play on teams like the Eagles, where they have a Devontae.
Yeah. That was
AJ
tough to
Brown.
watch.
Every
time
you can see
they
them on teams like
us one way, they beat us another way. It was rough.
They got T. Higgins and all these people. So it's just like,
all right, who are we going to see in the Super Bowl?
Dak out. It cannot be all on Dak. I guarantee if
but
all
you're
these
paying
other
him
QBs had
like
the
it
same
is
receiver core that Dak Prescott has, they're not putting up the same numbers. They're just not. So we got to help Dak out.
But do you see, Scooter, that you're paying him like he is? And I'm saying
I have been seeing all of this.
Aaron Rodgers.
I have seen this. I have lived it.
So
this
it's an
has been my life
organizational
experience.
It's an organizational issue. That's what I'm saying. You're paying Aaron Rodgers like he's still a guy.
I know.
And
guess what? It's going to continue to be that way until forever. So we're going to have to get by that some way.
There it is.
We're going to have to overcome. And we can. And we
all right, who's going to be in the Super Bowl? Let's just go around.
Eagles, Bengals.
Tom, you're saying who?
Eagles, Bengals.
Eagles, Bengals. Gosh. You saying the kitty is going to go meow. Brandon.
Yeah. Eagles,
who are we going to see? Eagles, Chiefs.
Yeah. I'm going to go.
I really want to take the 49ers, but Eagles just look dangerous. They can get you so many ways.
They'll come get you.
I'm going to go Eagles, Chiefs.
49ers.
Ooh.
Because look, I don't, even if I thought it was the Eagles, I would still say 49ers.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be the Eagles, though. Like, legitimately, I think the 49ers got something cooking. And I think they're going to limit the big plays on the Eagles. So I got 49ers, and I don't even know, honestly. But the way Joe Burrow has been playing recently, Joe Burrow is the best QB right now in the league, in the NFL. It's Joe Burrow. He's number one. And because of that, I think they make it to the Super Bowl this year. Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow's the same quarterback every single week. He's like the third best QB in the NFL every single week.
Every week.
Just really good. He's never worse than that, and he's like statistically.
I really like the Bengals because of how they just shut down the Bills offense. Like, they just were stingy. And I think the Chiefs are in trouble there. I think Joe Burrow's playing out of his mind. He has been since he was at LSU. The only thing that can slow him down is a torn ACL. So that one's good to go. Now, the question is with the Niners and the Eagles. The Eagles, the Niners are going to defend. They're going to score, but the Eagles will get probably 21, 24 points. my question is can the Niners score 21, 24 points with Brock Purdy? And I don't think that's really a thing. You only scored 19 against the Cowboys, which is, I mean, whatever. I like the Eagles and the Kitty Goes Meow crew. So there we have it. You all ready to count it down?
The Chiefs, they run Patrick Mahomes 30-yard gallop to prove how okay his ankle.
And that's the opening play. It's a QB draw.
Yep.
Yeah, like his entire leg falls off and he's still like hobbling to the end zone.
It's
It's like Greg
hobbling
Jennings
around
in
and
that
handing
Madden
the ball
play
off.
where he's
It's
like,
just-
holding
Yeah.
his hamstring.
He put the team
Like
on
that.
his back.
Just like Greg
I
Jennings.
can definitely see that.
Yep. Darren
Just a flesh
Sharper,
wound.
one of the hardest
All right.
hitting safeties in the league.
Here we go, yeah. Come on now. Yeah. 2019, 17, 16, 15, 4. You tuned in because you wanted to see Scooter cry. That's why you tuned in. It didn't even have to rhyme. That's why, I mean, it's on the thumbnail. It really was just kind of blatantly there. You know, it's just, it happens. You know, sometimes your team falls short and you just got to laugh at them and make a living.
As soon as they lose, tell everyone that they're going to be in the Super Bowl.
I made $198.63.
108.98 over here. Thank you, everyone.
113. 113.
All right. Well, I'm at 323.25. Scooter.
Oh,
JK.
no.
I'm at 814.
Let's go.
Man.
You should have to go back to that Walmart.
I'm
You gotta spend
thinking
$800 at Walmart.
I'm thinking a live dissection breakdown of that final play in excruciating detail.
Is that
In a video
available on
form.
Next Gen Stats?
Yes.
Hold on. Let me look
What
at Next Gen Stats.
I was also thinking, just throwing it out there, because he has done this before, but I think depending on the winner on Sunday of the NFC Championship game, he has to dress as a cheerleader of the team that wins. Because it's either the 49ers who beat him, or it's the Eagles, which is just even better.
Ooh, that
So
one's
that's
spicy.
like a repeat. We
I
need
like
to change
that
it up.
one.
We
I
gotta
think
change
he
it
has to
up.
break down that Zeke play and the 14-second play from the season before and determine which play is actually worse.
That works too.
Honestly, Scooter, I hope you get used to this play. You're going to be seeing it a lot over the next week.
Final play, it looks like barring a penalty. Prescott over the middle of the turret. Gets smoked right away. And that'll do it, the 49er. And on the last play.
And you got an extra 9.
Oh, dang. Scooter, everyone loves misery, brother. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So are we saying play
That's
by
good too, though.
Ooh, they've been talking about this for a while. Is it time?
Actually,
That's
that might be it.
$900,
I think that's it. I think that's
Yeah.
pretty damn great.
Do we put a five minute
vote for that.
minimum?
Check.
I vote for
Actually,
that.
you know what? That's better than the Zeke play.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I vote
Yeah,
for
I
that.
vote for
Everyone
that.
raise their
I'll
hand.
grab.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Eyes have it.
Yep. Unanimous.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
How many
yeah.
get? We're done.
You're gonna
All right,
be here
how
for a
about
while.
every single
Be the whole
playoff
show.
loss? Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We can
Let's
take
go.
the day off.
Oh, yeah.
Five. What do you got coming out?
I have a video on what's underneath the pitcher's mound, and it's really interesting. Do you know that underneath the pitcher's mound, there's an entire room underneath there?
No.
In some fields? Yeah, there's an entire room like that you can go down. Like there's a hatch on the pitcher's mound, and you can get down underneath there. I'm not going to tell you why, though. Not going to tell you why.
Is Jimmy Hoffa buried underneath her?
He is.
Scooter.
No,
What do you got coming out?
I got a sponsored video with the NBA. It's NBA rivalry week this week, so be on the lookout for that. We got NBA free agent or NBA trade deadline video coming up soon, sometime next week, and we're gonna be reacting to these games this weekend as well. So be on the lookout.
There you go, Perna.
What I got tomorrow? The 2006 Chargers.
Was that the team that went 14-2?
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
And the Marlon McCree fumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in a short or something.
Well, I got Hater's Guide to the NHL Eastern Conference that came out a couple hours ago. Western Conference should be out Saturday. And then Hater's Guide to the Super Bowl, probably Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
It's a big week for Tree.
Yeah.
Giants
not wake up at 10.
I know, right? Crazy.
Giants fan reaction to the season came out right before Clickbait doing an Aaron Rodgers to the Jets video, what that would look like at a couple hours. That'll come out.
Okay.
All right,
looks
folks.
like we made it.
Appreciate
see you
you
next week.
I'm
Bye. See you next
We need to close.